So what you're looking at right here is the art progression for the opening panel of Gale Storm Chaser, which is our second chapter in the Gale series. In Gale Chapter 1, we were kind of focused on telling a very linear story to introduce Gale, which is our main character. He's a rookie attorney and he comes from old money, so it may be no surprise that the first chapter kind of seemed naive and maybe a little pretentious in the feeling of things. But this was not an accident. It was to show you how different Gale's world is compared to the rest of the world that I was about to show you. Of course, you wouldn't know that before Chapter 2. So, Chapter 2 starts off in, what I have named as the Void. So, if you haven't already gathered, that Gale is set in what appears to be Seattle, and if you looked at it even closer, then you would notice that there is a chronological chaos to the story and the setting itself. This is also not an accident. They're purposefully placed paradoxes from our world in hopes that you realize that this is not our world, but an alternate one that may have been or might be. But back to the Void. Chapter 2 opens up in a vastly different world than we were introduced to in the first chapter. I kind of like to call it one of my first of many temperature checks. It's kind of a way to slowly familiarize yourself with some of the themes and situations that are to follow. The visuals in here are absolutely striking. You know, whether they strike you with fear, whether it's disgust, or whether it's pity, they're striking all the same. I actually remember seeing the art for the first time, and it was kind of scary, kind of horrified me, realizing it came from my own mind. But it made me happy because I knew that it was necessary for the story that we're trying to tell. I just couldn't imagine that had come from my mind. But anyway, the page shows three individuals dressed as vagrants, right? And they're in like tattered clothing, and on their face they all wear some type of mask that resembles parts of a skull. Um, Angela kind of drew inspiration from the old adage, hear no evil, see no evil, and speak no evil. I kind of found this a little funny, um, as I noticed that see no evil tends to be the leader of the three followers. Or the leader of the three. And I just feel like, as followers of someone, you would like your leader to stare evil in the face, or at least be able to see it or something. But if that's what you interpreted, I will say that was actually an accident. But yeah, these are the soldiers of Seraphine who I introduced later on.